Dear Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us, for joining Athens News Agency.
Καλημέρα.
Mr. Ambassador, Greece is in its sixth year of recession, and the first signs of an exit are in front of us. But at this critical stage, we see that Germany diffused a haircut of Greek debt. Why? What is, according to you, the best solution for Greece?
I think that the best solution is to keep the eyes on the ball, not to get distracted by what could happen the day after tomorrow. I think it is important now to continue with this program, which, as you said rightly, is showing signs of success. Yes, I agree completely that we have light at the end of the tunnel. There are signals that the economy is recovering. It is very much possible for us that there will be a growth, maybe a small one, in 2014, and that we will exit the crisis. So thinking about what could happen the day after tomorrow, I think, is premature. Let us do our job and continue modernizing the country. The Greek government is working very hard on that.
So you are against a new haircut in Greek debt?
The haircut would, a discussion on the haircut would create insecurity in the Eurozone and would bring us back in a crisis modus. That's my personal opinion on that. I think that we do not need that at the moment. What we need is to continue the path we have started.
But I would like to mention that Germany was in favor for the first haircut in Greek debt, mainly was concerning, of course, the Greek banks, pension funds, and small bondholders. Why then and not now?
Well, you're absolutely right. The PSI has been done. I think that was an important step. But we have progressed since then. We have gone a lot further. The Minister of Finance says that he would be able to enter the market next year. I mean, these are signals of optimism and hope. We don't need, I think, at this moment to discuss about further haircuts. As you might probably know, the Eurogroup has decided in November last year that they will discuss the situation in Greece in 2013, and if there is a primary surplus, if the program is being implemented, then they will think about additional measures to relieve the debt pressure. But that's not where we are now. Now we see the finishing line in front of us, and I don't think that we should now start, once we see the finishing line, looking left and right and wondering what we can do next.
Could you please tell us, Germany is ready for a third memorandum for Greece?
It's basically a question which is hypothetical at the moment. We need to wait and see what is coming out of the recovery program. I think that the nature of any kind of additional assistance will depend very much upon the diagnosis of which will be done after 2013. That's during the coming year. The diagnosis will be how much have we achieved so far, what are the successes, what needs to be done, and then I think that the European partners will discuss whether additional measures are necessary.
Mr. Ambassador, tell us about the German interest for investments in Greece. What about the energy sector?
I think that the Greek-German business community is an important part of foreign investors here. I'm happy to say that many have decided to remain in the country. Some of them have even made investments in the days in these last 2 or 3 years of crisis. I think that there is a clear understanding that there is a potential here in Greece to do business, and that it would be a wrong decision to leave the country, especially now when we have this, let's say, somewhat more optimistic outlook.
Are there any new plans for investments?
I know that there are a number, especially in the area of renewables, there's a number of companies who are interested, solar and aeolian power. As you probably know, we are partners with Greece in the field of renewable energy. There has been an MOU which has been signed between the Greek government and the German government about cooperating in the field of renewable energy policy. I think that is going to bear fruit in the coming 12 months. And at the same time, regarding the classical sources of energy, the Bundestag has agreed on a Hermes Euler credit guarantee for up to 600 million euro, I think, for Ptolemaios 5, which is a lignite plant. If that all goes well, I think there are a number of technical questions which have to be addressed. If all goes well, this will be a big improvement of the energy situation in Greece.
Would you please tell us about the prospects of Greek products in Germany?
Untapped potential here also. I think that it was very important to have the presentation of the trade fair of Messe Düsseldorf, which is called Mediterranean Food. We have made the presentation of this trade fair a couple of weeks ago in the presence of the Minister of Development. This trade fair will take place in September 2014 and will provide a platform for producers of agro-industry and agro-industrial products. And the whole idea here is to open up the market in Germany and Europe further for Greek products, Greek high-quality products, which I think is a big strength of Greek products compared to other producers in the Mediterranean.
Mr. Ambassador, in the coming days we shall have the formation of a new German government. Many Europeans, many Greek also hopes that the participation of SPD in this government will contribute to loosen the fiscal pressure against Greece and also against the European South. Do you share this optimism?
Well, as a civil servant, I'm not going to predict the outcome of the coalition negotiations. They will start right now, these days, and that's going to be a very detailed and thorough and probably also longish negotiations between the SPD and on the one side and the CDU-CSU on the other side on all fields, and that is going to be the basis of the government's policy for the next 4 years. So what they will agree upon regarding the policy in the on the fiscal side in the Eurozone and further developing integration in Europe, which is on the agenda of both parties, by the way, this remains to be seen.
Mr. Ambassador, according to the polls, there is a rise of anti-German sentiments in Greece. What is your explanation?
Well, it is very clear that that is a cause of worry for me as a German ambassador. I understand that, you know, the pressure on the people, on large segments of the population is immense. Many really feel the pressure of the fiscal stabilization. The income of many families has gone down. And I think, if I get it right, there's a lot of frustration and anger about this. This is directed towards, let's say, the creditors in general, amongst them Germany. I think it is also directed at the Greek situation in general as well. I have a lot of understanding for that. I think we have to respect this sense of despair, I think, which and pessimism, which is amongst many people. I know that this is projected on Germany. I know also that there are also people who would like to dwell on stereotypes and like to do populism because they have their political calculus behind that, because they think that they can tap on the electorate and using these stereotypes. There's that as well. But I think that when we come out of the crisis, and we'll come out of the crisis together, then I think things will improve.
Speaking about populism, Greek Parliament was voting yesterday evening overwhelmingly to suspend state funding for the far-right party of Golden Dawn. What is your opinion? What are the causes of the rise of a neo-Nazi party in Greece?
Well, first of all, I think that it is fantastic that all Democrats stand up and oppose the rise of neo-Nazism. That is in Greece or in other countries as well. The phenomenon of far-right success is not only something we can see in Greece, but in many other countries, also in countries who are not so deeply involved in a crisis. So there are reasons for the rise of the far-right and for the renaissance of nationalism, which are certainly to be seen in the insecurity about the globalization, about the development of Europe, about Europe integration, and maybe a lack of understanding of what is going on. So I think this is a general phenomenon we have in Europe, and we need to address.
Closing this interview, I would like to ask you about the war reparations for Greek after the Second World War. This item has been closed for the German government or continues to exist morally?
I think that if you take the legal side of reparation claims from the occupation by Germany in the Second World War, I think that we don't see a legal basis for war reparation claims. Having said that, the issue of moral and historic responsibility for what has been done in the name of Germany in the occupation of so many countries, including Greece, and this subject, this responsibility is not closed, will live on and will continue to be a guiding principle for our policy in Europe, which is, let us keep this zone of social cohesion, peace and democracy together as it has evolved after the war in the 70 years which we have now. And I think that would be, if there is a legacy out of that, the deeds, the brutal occupation of many countries, including Greece, then that would be one of it.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for this very, very interesting interview.
You're welcome.